Outer Banks star Madison Bailey just opened up about her borderline personality disorder. Here's everything we know. I'm Gabi Conti.
I'm Jana Rosenberg, and this is your 24/7 celebrity news. Madison Bailey just did an interview with Entertainment Tonight where she gushed about her love and new relationship with UNC Charlotte basketball player Mariah Linney, where we learned the adorable couple met on TikTok and things are already pretty serious. But in the same interview, Madison also opened up about being diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, or BPD, at the age of 17. She explained how this disorder has a whole array of symptoms that include impulsive behavior, mood swings, unstable self-image, and the tendency to see situations in extremes. Madison said that since her diagnosis, BPD has become a huge part of who she is as a person. We need to normalize things like this because a lot of people have personality. This is not a not common thing.
Yep.
And I'm glad that she's being so open and honest about it because I'm sure she's helping a lot of people.
A lot of people have had this and it's not diagnosed, so it's so refreshing when you do have mental health issues and it is diagnosed for what it is. I know I have friends who have this disorder and it's often misdiagnosed as bipolar disorder, which is different. And it's just nice to know what it is, and I think it's so great that she's opening up about this because maybe if this sounds familiar to you, if this sounds familiar to her fans can also take a closer look at what they're going through. And Madison, who's 21 years old, now explained why she's opening up about her mental health. As she said, I think it's really important to speak from a voice of this is just something I'm going through. It's not something that I know everything about. I'm figuring it out day by day on my own. Madison admitted that while she's no mental health expert, she's been learning about her own mental health day by day. And as for therapy, which most people use to treat BPD, it isn't for her, which I think is important because, I think we could talk broadly about mental health. We could talk about the different types of mental health disorders that exist. But yes, your own mental health disorder is your own mental health disorder. And so you do have to kind of see what is the best way to deal with it and how to get the help you need to feel good,
Yeah, and while something gets diagnosed as a certain thing, I think it's still different for everyone. The way you handle it, the way it affects your life every day. So whatever treatment you choose to use, that's for you. They can give suggestions and whatnot, but I think she's finding ways that work for her, clearly.
Yeah.
Successful, thriving career, healthy relationship. So, as the actress explained to ET, I'm not a therapy person. I'm very internal in the way that I like to deal with things. Therapy is not for me. It's never something I connected with. I didn't feel like I benefited from it. She also said how when her former therapist recommended group therapy, Madison just got more anxiety from it and wants others who had similar situation to know that they are not alone. As she explained, I know a lot of other people who feel that way. What do I do when I don't want to be on medication or I don't want to go to therapy? It's tough because I feel like that's the first thing people tell you to do. They're like, let's put you on this medication or we can try this therapy. If that doesn't work, group therapy. But those really aren't the only things, and she's about to tell you.
Well, and also diagnosing medication for mental health issues can become an issue because a lot of mental health medication is opioids to some extent, and that's why we have an opioid crisis. So you do have to be careful about what your doctor is prescribing you, and definitely figuring out what works in your own lifestyle is also important. I'm not saying go off your meds, but it is nice to know that there are other options.
Definitely.
Because when you do see a mental health doctor or a psychiatrist, they probably are going to prescribe you something when really it's important that you know that is not the only way and that there are holistic ways of healing, which is what really works for Madison. So as for what works for Madison in dealing with her BPD in her daily life, she says acting has been an amazing outlet for her. As she explained, quote, on days when it's really hard to be myself, it's really easy to be someone else. She also practices a lot of self-care, meditation, and uses crystals, which she finds has helped her understand her emotions more. And she's also seen the positive in her BPD. As she said, one of the main things is that likes and dislikes change often. So my aesthetics changes often. My music taste changes often. I feel like I have a very broad personality, which allows me to connect with a lot of people. Being sensitive, which is such a hard thing, that's another one of the main components of this disorder, is having an exposed nerve to every emotion and every feeling. But the bright side is that it allows me to connect with so many more people. I'm able to put myself in other people's shoes very easily and deliver empathy with authenticity. And there are a lot of actors actually that do have BPD. I believe Demi Lovato actually also is diagnosed, or Demi Lovato or Selena Gomez, or maybe both of them have similar mental health disorder. And yeah, it does make these people beautiful actors, beautiful artists, beautiful
100%.
creatives. And like, I mean, what she's describing is like what makes someone an excellent actor.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I mean, yeah, you like can be so like empathy and authenticity like within different shoes of who you need to play. Like what better?
That's great.
How are you guys dealing with your mental health, and how are you being supportive of others' mental health as well? Let us know. I'm Jana Rosenberg.
I'm Gabi Conti, and follow us at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.